blacksmith was like, "Oh, really? Have you found many butter churns with things on the top?" And he goes, "Well, the funny thing is, we found another one right next to this one."
But
At which point the blacksmith went, "Oh God, you're a moron." And
oh, you had something in that? I didn't even see
yeah,
something in that.
He figured out that they were bellows. Now they are probably actually foundry bellows, to be honest.
These ones?
Yeah, because they move a vast amount of air very quickly.
Yeah. I would they actually do a much more substantial fire than that, would they? Bigger fire.
Yeah. So if I was doing a bloom,
Yeah.
making an iron bloom, I'd have two of these, two sets of these.
Oh, really?
One on either side. And then you're talking, you're not making the piece of steel hot, you're making iron out of stones at that stage in a bloomery. That's where we get the iron from.
That's right.
So
there was a fella.
Yeah, so you're talking inside the bloomery.
Yeah.
It's 2,000 degrees.
Wow. And that's just from more air being pumped in. Same fuel.
Same fuel.
Yeah.
Contained.
Yeah.
In a very insulative environment.
Yeah.
And lots of air. Like say a bloom might take 12 or 14 hours to burn.
Yeah.
So if you think, and I wouldn't be doing it like this is me doing it gently.
Nice and chill. Yeah.
If there was me on one side and you on the other, really going for it.
To get it up to temp, yeah.
That heat is frightening. Like it gets frighteningly hot.
But you're actually melting stones and extracting the mineral,
Well,
extracting
what you're
the.
actually doing is when you do a bloom,
Yeah.
you're not melting the iron.
You're melting everything else but the
You're
iron.
melting everything but the iron.
Ah.
So what you're left with in the end is this. It looks useless. Like it really does look like you go, oh yeah, now throw this away.
Yeah.
Until I have at it for about 6 or 7 hours, and I forge that bloom down from dross into an iron bar.
Okay, and then you can,
But
yeah.
the thing is, if I have a bloom twice the size of my head, and I have a very big head.
Yeah, we'll give you that.
If I have a bloom twice the size of my head, from that bloom, I might get an iron bar an inch square by this long.
Okay.
That's it.
Really? Labour intensive.
Hugely. Which is why this material historically is
Iron.
incredibly expensive.
Wow, look at this.
So, but with the application of heat,
And is that iron you're working with
this
there now?
is actually steel now.
Okay, steel, yeah.
As much as I do love working raw iron, it is a beautiful material to work with. It's not commercially produced anywhere in the world anymore. So it makes it essentially a very expensive
Do you have to reclaim it?
material. So I reclaim it, yeah. So I go around, and if I see at sales or auctions and things, I go around
Yeah.
and I buy up old iron
Yeah.
and then reforge it into kind of
Whatever it is you're having, yeah.
a lot of it actually goes into heritage stuff because that's my quench bucket. That's what I have a wash after I've finished. For heritage stuff, you can't just use steel. So for a lot of heritage stuff, if I'm fixing or making something for a heritage site, I have to use wrought iron, which is like the last set of gates I made. They actually weren't for here, they were in the UK, they went over to England. What would have been a €3,000 set of gates
Wow.
turned into a €12,000 set of gates.
Because of all the iron.
The iron and time.
And your labour.
Like I would have made their gates in a week and a half.
Yeah, but not.
It took me 4 months.
Wow. Where did they go?
They went into, it's an old abbey building.
Yeah.
Just outside of Falkirk,
Okay.
up in Scotland.
Okay.
They were nice. They weren't even that big.
Yeah.
They
But
were-
they just
they
need
were
to
like
be.
secondary gates. But
Yeah.
because they have to tick the boxes, so they had to be wrought iron.
Okay.
Now, I was lucky in that